Good morning. This is Bill from the Upside of Downsizing. I first and foremost want to thank the YouTube community for all the constructive information that I received yesterday regarding the problem I was having with this deck. A couple good comments came in that I'm going to implement today. The first one being big shout out to Terry, who mentioned that the main grain of the plywood is running parallel to the floor joists, and he suggested that that would create a spongy floor effect. So what we're going to do today is remove the decking and then rotate it 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is put a 4x8 sheet here, a 4x8 sheet up in the corner. The third 4x8 will get split into two 4x4s and will be placed in the opposite corners, staggering the seams. The other suggestion that came in was that we needed additional cross bracing. Now, and I mentioned it in my response to the comment, I mentioned that we had an additional 2x4. Let me see if I can get down here. We had an additional 2x4 right there, lag screwed into the 4x4, running the entire width of the deck. Now that's screwed in from the bottom, lag screwed into the posts here and on the other side, and then with 3-inch deck screws toe nailed into each floor joist, which prevents the floor joists from rocking back and forth. Well, what I'm going to end up doing today is putting in an additional 2x4 this length, because you got to understand this 2x4 down here is actually underneath the floor joist, so it's not a position that you could screw into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an additional 2x4 running this direction that will be flush with the top of the floor joists, and that will give me an additional point of screwing the wood in. I don't know how else to describe it, but it'll also allow all the seams to be closed and covered, because I'm now going to have seams running this direction in addition to this direction. So I'll get back to you after I get this deck off. Okay, here you can see a little bit better what I was talking about. This 2x4 brace is lagged into this 4x4, supporting all the floor joists, toe nailed in here so there's no movement. But I need a nailer now to go across here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2x4 pieces, I guess cripples, and put them in here as nailers all the way across. So I have to Shoshugi bond another piece of 2x4, cut it to size, and then nail it in. This tank is almost empty. That's why I'm not getting any real flame out of it. Not really burning at all. This ain't cutting it. Gotta switch. If you gotta get the propane, you do what you gotta do. Let's see how this one works. Sounds better. Yeah. This tank's running out. That's it. Dead soldier, it's gonna have to do. So after you burn it, just use a stiff brush. A lot of guys say use a wire brush. I think the wire brush is just going to damage the wood. This is just a stiff bristle brush. If the bristles were half that length, it'd be even better. And I suppose I could cut them down if I wanted to, but I'm too lazy. I picked this up at Ace Hardware and ran about $7 including the pole, and it's been doing a good job. You just want to get the soot off of it. You can see it coming up in a cloud. And since this is not going to be visible, I am not worried about getting it 100%. It does take ugly wood and make it look good, I tell you. I really like the look of it. Especially after the linseed oil gets put on. It really has a great color. Go to a big box store, you pay a lot of money for this color. I call it espresso. Okay, so the next step is to measure in between the floor joists and cut my nailers. Now I know for strength this would be the better way to put it in, but I'm not really looking for strength, I'm looking for nailing capacity, so I'm going to go horizontal. And this is why I got my persuader. I want them a nice tight fit. Trim. Okay, I've got these all in. I gotta just put a couple of screws in to toenail them to hold it. And I'm going to cheat and use one short screw. Because I'm out. Cool. So next thing we're going to do is lay the plywood down. Okay, so I've got the deck redone. Just to recap real quickly, what I did was I took off the old sheeting and put in nailers and reoriented the plywood so that the main grain is going perpendicular to my floor joists. And again, I want to give a shout out to my YouTube followers who made these suggestions, and Arizona Homestead and Terry. Thank you very much for chiming in. I really appreciate it because it made all the difference. This kind of reconfiguration took me a couple hours, but it was well worth it. The difference in stability is night and day. So what will I do next time? Next time I'll pay attention to the orientation of my grain. I'll make sure I have enough nailers, and frankly I'll go 3/4 in terms of the thickness. I'll probably end up using like a 3/4 OSB next time. It's a few dollars more than this 1/2-inch ply, and it's a lot heavier, but I think it's going to add a lot more stability. For what I have right now, I'm satisfied with the stability of this floor, and I have absolutely no concerns that it's going to fail me down the road. So this is Bill from the Upside of Downsizing. I want to thank you again for watching. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. I'll see you in the next video. We decided to show Shugi on the top too. So we gave the plywood a real good burn. And then we also used a good coat of boiled linseed oil. And you can see in some of these areas where it's really reflective, it hasn't soaked in 100% yet, but it will. And it'll seal it up real nice. And we figured this was the chance to finish this off the way we want to have it done. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.